families here with us tonight. I'm looking around the screens and I'm seeing so many folks, including some newer families to our school, because we're going to be consecrating the beginning of Jewish education for a number of new students in our school. There are also some long-timers in our school, veterans. They're like 10 and they've been at this for a long time, Veterans like Hiram, real veterans. These people kind of know their way around the block a little bit at the temple. That's okay. We like it that way. We actually need a little nice happy mix of both. Alexis Cohn is here. She's a veteran. She understands, When we actually go back to the temple, she knows her way around. Although we may have been gone for so long, we'll have to remind people a little bit. But frankly, it is most of all just really, really lovely to see all of you, to see your faces, to know that we're going to be singing and celebrating Shabbat together in just a couple of moments. In fact, the very first thing we're going to do is simply welcome one another with the greeting Shabbat Shalom. But we're going to do it not just with words, but we're going to do it with music as well. And so, Cantor Cates, can you Shabbat Shalom us into this very special Friday night?
I certainly can, and that's the only 2 words you need to know for this song.
Shifra just said, I really like Cantor Cates' voice. So we agree. We're big fans.
It made my Shabbat right there.
You might even be able to make a living using that voice. It would be incredible.
eye candles.
You know what, Shifra? In fact, we are going to welcome in this Shabbat by lighting our candles. And this Shabbat, we have an extra special Shabbat because we have our students who are joining us, our religious school students, and we're going to be honoring and welcoming our new students. And also, we have Tristan Baumanyar, who is being called to the Torah as a bar mitzvah, and he, Shifra, is going to help us welcome Shabbat. He and his family are going to light our Shabbat candles. And if you also, anyone who is on our Zoom tonight or our stream and has candles of your own, we invite you to light your candles at your house as well, so that we can fill our homes and our country and our world with some much needed light and hope. Take it away, Baumanyar family.
Washing the teeth. Washing the teeth.
Melissa, you're doing a great job lighting, but we're going to need you to unmute so we can hear you too.
Okay, hi everyone. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Shalom.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehavlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. A special Shabbat Shalom to the Baumanyars. I have had the great gift growing. Our families have grown up together, the Baumanyars and mine. We were in preschool together at Leo Beck Temple, and now their older son and my youngest daughter, my gosh, they're all in their middle teens. Where did the time go, Baumanyar family? I do not know, but whatever it is, we're going to be celebrating together again tomorrow morning as Tristan reads from the Torah and leads our community in worship, and we cannot wait to celebrate with all of you. In fact, we're not going to wait, because the very first thing we're supposed to do when we kindle the lights of Shabbat is to give great thanks for the blessing of our families. And so the very first thing, Birkat HaMishpacha, a blessing for family. We do it in kind of a special way here at the temple. There's an online prayer book, which Drew is a mind reader. Did you catch that? I didn't even finish saying there's an online prayer book, and bang, there was the link right there in the chat. So if you go to the chat and you click on that link right there alongside with your Zoom screen, you'll have your internet will be bringing you to the online prayer book. And if you turn to the third page inside that book, you will find the words for our parents' prayer. Traditionally, as Shabbat would begin, the custom was for parents to bring their children close physically. And right now, at a time where we are so missing being together physically with those who we love, it's so important that within our families, where we do have that opportunity, for those who are blessed to not live alone and have the opportunity to be surrounded by loved ones, for us to be able to bestow that physical gift. You know, our bodies are made to be loved physically, not only with words, but with hugs and with handshakes and with our hands feeling the gift of one another's love, just being able to connect to each other physically. And so that's the reason that our tradition included that it wasn't just words that we would bestow, or even melody that we would bestow upon our children, but we would physically bestow blessing upon them. And you can do this, the traditional way was hands upon heads, but you can do this as well with hands around shoulders, with hands in hands. All of this works. But I do want to encourage you to bestow blessing physically as we join together on the third page of the online prayer book in our parents' prayer. And for those who don't have loved ones who are here with you, or you're thinking of family members, children, grown children, other loved ones, wherever they may be around the world, or even living on in our memories, this is an opportunity for all of us to commune with one another and give thanks for the blessing of love. Please join with me. Beside me, I feel so greatly blessed. This moment means much more than I can say. A time to be together, a time for us to rest. Shabbat is here, the time has come to celebrate the day. So I hold you close, my hands upon your head. And from me to you, my child, these words are said. Elohim, Ephraim v'chim Nashem. May God give you life and strength like Joseph's sons. Yisimech Elohim, Kasara Rivka, Rachel v'Leah. May God make you like our mothers, like our blessed ones. As I watch you growing, I smile through my tears. Sometimes I wish you'd stay forever small. And then I see you blossom, and I befriend the passing years. I love you now, I love you then, I love to see it all. So I lift my voice to offer you this prayer. For every step along the road, I will be there. Yisimcha Elohim Ephraim v'chimnashem. May God give you life and strength like Joseph's sons. Yisimech Elohim Kasara Rivka Rachel v'Leah. May God make you like our mothers, like our blessed ones. May God make you like our parents, like our blessed ones.
It is now time for the sweetness of the Kiddush wine. And if you have some wine with you, I invite you to please join with me. If you can stand, I also invite you to stand. And I hope that we can spotlight Tristan and his family because I'm so proud of you. There you are, and all that you do and all that you've accomplished. And I'm looking forward to your bar mitzvah tomorrow. Join with me. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uratzon Hinchilanu zikaron lemaaseh vereshit ki hu yom techila lemikra kodesh zecher litziat Mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta v'otanu kidashta Mikol hamim v'shabbat kodshacha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat l'chaim.
Hey Tristan, this one's for you, bud. Yeah, there you go.
And now for our favorite part, it is time for us to say Motzi over the challah. I will say today I had the opportunity to go visit all of our new students. And
Peachy's getting her house.
Peachy is getting her challah. And I had the opportunity to go visit students and bring them their little Torahs and their certificates in honor of consecration. And one wonderful family, the Jacobsons, shared with me a Diamonds Bakery challah. So we are very excited to be enjoying it. Shifra's probably the most excited. So grab your cracker or your bread or whatever it is that you have, and we will join in Motzi together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz v'te'avon.
I want some house.
Grab some challah. We're pulling our challah. Perfect. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom to my family.
Very happy Shifra.
I'm very happy.
Very, very happy Shifra.
Has kept the Jews celebrating Shabbat. You know, this Shabbat, our Torah portion, we're in Vayera, and we see Abraham and Sarah really model for us what it means to welcome, to greet one another. And in these times, it has been challenging for us to think about what it looks like to really welcome each other when we can't be physically together. And so whether it's sending chats on Zoom, or whether it's doing big hand gestures to greet our family and friends when we see them, or whether it's holding up signs, or even, dare I say, making phone calls or sending handwritten letters and packages. We've really had to explore what it means to welcome and to greet one another, especially at a time when we all need that togetherness. And so I cannot think of a better way to welcome in this Shabbat and to greet one another than with words from our psalmists, Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. And they just mean how special it is for all of us to celebrate Shabbat together. And if you want to follow along throughout our service, you can do so in our online prayer book. Drew is going to put the link, again, magical Drew, in the chat box. We will be on page 10. This is the first page in the book, and we're going to have our religious school students welcome us with these words. We're going to try one more time to have our religious school students welcome us with words. Thank you for all of us this week are exercising patience in newfound ways. So this is just another opportunity for us to practice that.
Oh, say shalom.
We are going to continue our service with words Lecha Dodi. They can be found on pages 20 through 21. We're going to be doing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. Please join us.
Lecha Dodi לקראת קלה, הנה שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, הנה שבת נקבלה. Try it with me, לך דודי, לך דודי לקראת קלה, הנה שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, הנה שבת נקבלה. שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ותפארת ולתהילה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, הנה שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, הנה שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי מקור הברכה מראש מקדם נסוכה. סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, B'nei Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi ligrat kala B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Top of 21. Hitoreri, hitoreri, kiva orech kumi ori, uri uri shir daberi, kivod Adonai alayich nigla lecha dodi, ligrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi, ligrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. It's time, as we prepare to sing the last verse at the bottom of page 21, Chadodi, to engage in a little spiritual exercise. The Chadodi is all about welcoming the Sabbath as a bride into our lives, into our week. And so I want you to imagine the bride about ready to enter the room, and the way the mystics of our tradition, the Kabbalists, taught us, our custom is to stand up, just as we would if a bride was about to enter and walk down the aisle, to stand up and to face the entrance to the room that you're in. So whatever room you're gathered in, as a family, on your own, to stand up, if you're able, to face toward the entrance and to see her in her beauty, welcoming this day of rest, bringing us the renewal that we need after a most intense week. Boi v'shalom ateret ba'ala gam b'simcha u'v'tzola toch emunei hamsegula boi chala lecha dodi ligrat kala B'nei Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi ligrat kala B'nei Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi ligrat kala B'nei Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi ligrat kala B'nei Shabbat nekabela. The next page in the online prayer book is our call to worship, the Baruch Hu. The page number at the bottom of that page, if you're looking to make sure you're on the right spot in the online prayer book, the page number printed on that page is number 28, page 28. Let us join in making our call to worship and entering into the core section of our service. The custom is to stand for this prayer if you're able. If you're ready, we're standing for the Sabbath bride. You can stay right where you are. ברכו את אדוני המבורך. ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד, לעולם ועד. יאללה לילה יאללה לילה יאללה לילה יאללה Yalla la la la, yalla la la la, yalla la la la, yalla la la la.
Our next prayer, Shema, reminds us that we are all echad, that we are all one, which right now might feel like a loving agitation to all of us, that no matter how divided our country might feel, that through our humanity, we are all still one people. And so one of the customs that we have in our religious school services is that we like to share our own intentions or thoughts through the chat box on Zoom. And so as we prepare to recite Shema, I want to invite you tonight to share either when or with whom you feel that sense of oneness, that sense of connectedness, what you're doing when you feel most connected or most at one, who you're with when you feel most connected to other people or at one. And then through all of our own intentions, through all of our own prayers, we will then join together in Shema. So be brave, share with us a thought. When do you most feel that sense of connection? Reflections, keep them coming. And I want to invite one of our 6th grade students, Ben Sonneborn, to share with us the Via Hafta.
Via Hafta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha uvechol nafshecha uvechol meodecha vehayu hadvarim ha'ele Asher Anochi Mitzavecha Hayom Olivavecha Veshinantam Livanecha Vedibarta Bam Beshivtecha Bevetecha Uvlechtecha Vadere Uvshachbecha Uvkumecha Ukshartam Leot Ayadecha Vehayu letotafot beineinecha Uchtavtam al mezuzot b'veitecha uvisharecha lema'an tiskeru ve'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'yetem kedoshim le'Elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lahem le'Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem.
Yasher Kof, we're going to follow Peachy and everyone do hands for Ben and his beautiful chanting. Beautifully done, Ben. A reading now to help prepare us for our Micha Mocha, our prayer of freedom. The good in us will win. Over all the wickedness, over all of the wrongs we have done, we will look back at the written pages of history and be amazed. And then we will laugh and sing, and the good that is in us, children in their cradles, will have won. Our hearts beat with certainty that there is a day and an hour and a mountain called Zion, and that all of the sufferings there will gather and become song, ringing out into every corner of the earth from end to end, and the nations will hear it. And like the caravans in the desert, will all to that morning throng. We join together in this prayer for hope, for freedom for all. Micha Mocha on page 40.
La 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 Yikamocha ba'elim Adonai Yikamocha nedar b'kodesh Nora tehilo nosefele Nora tehilo nosefele מלכותך רעובה עיניך, בוקע ים לפני משה. Seilianu ve'amru, Seilianu ve'amru, Adonai yimlok le'olam va'ed, Adonai yimlok le'olam va'ed. Ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la ya la la la. This week we have been dealing with a whole lot of uncertainty foisted upon us. It's not the kind of thing that any of us would have chosen. And we know that our makeup as human beings is to be most anxious, not when we get bad news, but when we don't know the news. When there's the possibility of something that we consider to be very upsetting or dangerous to us, and it might happen, but it also might not. This is the kind of anxiety that we're all walking around with as we wait for this time of incredible transition in our country to complete the process, to count all the votes, to make the way through this end period of the current administration. And then whatever will be up ahead, that doesn't even start for another 2.5 months. And so it's going to be a time of a lot of living with uncertainty, living with all kinds of possibilities, some of which might bring us joy and hope, and others which might bring us dread and discomfort. And the reason that we have this next prayer, the next page in the online prayer book is a supplemental page. And if you look at the bottom right-hand corner of that page, you'll find the words of the traditional nighttime prayer, which was not something invented by all of us. The English words that we're about to sing are a new interpretation of the traditional prayer, but the Hebrew that we're about to sing was created by the ancient rabbis about 1,500 years ago, a long time ago. And all they were asking is that when we're living with that kind of uncertainty, that kind of discomfort, disquiet within us, that nighttime tends to elevate those anxieties. the light of day disappears and the dark comes, as it has now. We've moved from daylight time into standard time, and so the night is arriving much earlier, and the night is staying much longer. The dark hours are longer. They're increasingly long. And so when darkness is surrounding us, darkness oftentimes comes to visit within us as well. And so the ancient rabbis knew that we would need in nighttime to ask, Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, in this night, in this darkness, cause us to lie down in peace, God. V'ha'amidenu malkeinu l'chaim. And when morning comes, when light returns, let light return within me, not just in front of me or around me. Let light be within me. We are all seeking right now to journey from the darkness that comes to visit us, inhabit us, to migrate toward the light. Something that happens every single day. We usually take it for granted. But we're going to need that metaphor during these upcoming months more than ever. From darkness to light. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom. Cause us to lie down in peace tonight so that we can continue that daily journey, night into light. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom, v'ha'amidenu malkeinu l'chaim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Beneath thy wings, O Adonai, guard us from all harmful things. O Adonai, keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. Amen. 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 Just our voices. Amen. Amen. Amen.
We continue with the Amidah. We start on page 46, those words that tell us to open our mouths, help us to find the words for these prayers. And then we'll join together, and when we finish, you are on your own to page 62 to really express those words that are in your heart. Adonai, Sephatai Tiftach, Adonai, Eloheinu, Velohei Avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, Ve'Kornei Hakol, Ve'Zocher Hasdei Avot ve'Imahot, U'Mevi Gula Livnei V'neihem, Leman Shemo Ve'Ava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Bezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechaya Kol Atah, Rav Lehoshia, Mashiv HaRuach U'Morid HaGashem, Mechakel Chaim Bechesed, Mechaye HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Verofeh Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato Lishenei Afar, Micha Mocha Ba'Gavurot, Umidom Melach, Melech Memit Umechaye, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman Ata L'chayot HaKol, Baruch Atah Adonai, Mechaye HaKol, Atah Kadosh V'Shimcha Kadosh, U'Kadoshim B'chol Yom, Yehalelucha Selah, Baruch Atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
Say shalom in Roma. Oh, say shalom in Roma. Uyase shalom. Uyase shalom. Uyase shalom. Aleinu. 1, 2, 3, 4. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down. Oh, say shalom.
May the one who makes peace definitely bring peace down into this world. Thanks to all of our students for sharing your beautiful voices with us. Throughout history, our people have lived through many moments of challenge and uncertainty, and throughout all of it, we have always leaned on two sources that really provide a constant and a refuge, and those are Shabbat and Torah. And year after year, we have the opportunity to learn and to grow and to connect through the teachings of our tradition that act as a roadmap for who we are and really how we want to treat one another. And so tonight we have the special joy and the honor of welcoming our newest religious school students and their families with the ritual of consecration. And I could not be more excited to welcome a group of thoughtful and loving and curious and kind students and families who are really going to enrich our entire community. And I had the chance to see them yesterday and today. As you'll see, students, when you get blessed, if you have your mini Torahs with you, if you'll hold them up so that we can all see your Torahs. And as they received their Torah, we're also excited to receive your Torah, to receive all of the teachings of who you are and how you act, that you bring those into our community, into our really sacred community. And so in a moment, I'm going to call the names of each of our new religious school students. And as I call your name, you're going to be spotlighted, the best part of Zoom. And then Rabbi Chasen is going to offer you a very, very special blessing on this really wonderful occasion for you and for our community. I first want to invite Joshua Allen. Clementine Jacobson. Take your time, she's coming, there she is. Cassia Kaufman. Lucy Laughlin. Henry McMillan. Lone Pizzarni. Samuel Suchard. Alden Taylor and Isaac Taylor. And finally, Charlotte Giagni, who could not be with us tonight.
What a marvelous new group of students. My gosh, we are so thrilled to welcome you, to welcome your families into our community, especially at this time where so much in our lives has sort of been put on hold, right? You kind of had to hit the pause button on so many things that were going on as usual. You, the new students in our school, the new families in our synagogue, you're the ones who are unpausing us. You're the ones who are helping us to continue moving forward and to experience new and to know that our community continues to be blessed with new light and new vision and new love. And so to all of you, we say welcome. Now for you, our newest learners in our religious school, I guess that most of you are looking at what we call the speaker view, and you're getting this spotlighted view of me. But I do think it wouldn't be a horrible idea for you to go to the gallery view. That's the upper right-hand corner. You click on view, and you go to gallery view. It's not so bad. You'll still be able to hear me. You just have to look at me. Better to look at our students, because they've received this gift of a Torah, and it is legit a Torah that they're holding. It's not a toy. It's got the Torah inside it. And so all of you who just received a gift of Torah, I want you to hold those Torahs up like you did for us when we were first spotlighting you. I want to see all those Torahs all together, because we gave you that gift of a Torah to inspire you. But what you can't really yet understand is that you are the gift of Torah that inspires us. A very long time ago, some of the very earliest rabbis in our tradition taught that when a child starts learning Torah, at a young age, like you are right now, that it is as if ink is being placed onto a perfectly clean sheet of white paper. Kind of a page looks a little bit like this, totally clean. And so you got to imagine like you're coloring or you're painting. Before that first splash of color shows up on the page is absolutely pristine, right? Perfect and ready to receive. Nothing needs to be erased. Nothing needs to be scratched out. There are no mistakes, no whoopses on the page. That's you, our new students. No whoopses, no mistakes about you. You all come to Torah learning with perfect, clean souls, ready to be imaginatively, artistically filled with the goodness of our tradition. And so as you begin this lifelong journey that you're now starting of Jewish learning and Jewish growing and Jewish community, as we're experiencing so robustly here tonight, we want you to know that already we cannot wait to see the Torah that is going to come charging out of you, the learning we're going to get to do from being in relationship with you. Our world, we know, needs you to bring us your Torah. That has certainly been the message, the lesson of this week, this chaotic week. You have come to remind us there is new Torah on the way from your beautiful souls. We need that Torah to be the content that gets placed into that clean, pure, beautiful page that is your spirit. And so we say, Eitz chaim hila machazikim ba v'tomcheha me'ushar. Torah, the Torah you claim tonight, is a tree of life to all who hold it fast. And its ways, the ways that you will walk, the ways that Torah will inspire you to create for all of us, those ways are ways of pleasantness. And all of its paths lead us toward peace. At this time where we are craving to experience peace anew, as families, as a community, as a nation, as a world struggling with a pandemic, you, with Torah on that beautiful, clear, perfect page that is you, the Torah that you will write there, will inspire us to peace. And so with incredible gratitude for having the opportunity to share this moment of passage in your life, and for so many members of our congregation to be here with you, celebrating this moment in time in your life. A lot of us remembering this moment in time, maybe when we received a little Torah, a generation or even 2 generations ago, or maybe when our own children or grandchildren received that little Torah. We are gifted, blessed to be with you on this night of celebration. And all of us are going to have, shouldn't be my privilege alone to bring you blessing on this night. We want to join together in saying thank you to God for giving us the gift of life and sustaining us so that we might arrive at this moment tonight as one community ready to celebrate the gift that you are. Let us join together in singing the words of Shechianu.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam שהחיינו וקיימנו והחיינו בזמן הזה. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam
Amen.
I love that Zoom has come up with a way that enables us to see so many of you at the same time like that, spotlighted. It's amazing to see your families in this night of celebration. Mazal tov to each and every one of you.
We now turn, even in the most joyous moments, to think of those in our community and in our country and in our world who may be struggling. And I was studying with one of our B'nai Mitzvah students recently, the Torah portion in which Miriam gets sick. She gets a skin disease, and her brother Moses prays for her. He says, El na rafanala, God, please pray her. And we certainly know that right now there is so much illness and so much suffering that is enveloping all of the inhabitants of this earth. And it just made me think of how we can call out to all of our brothers and our sisters out there, El na rafanala, please heal them. May we heal a country that is struggling and that is divided, a community that is far apart from one another, individuals and families who are in need of healing of the mind or of the body or of the spirit from their own illnesses. So at this time, we are going to take a quiet moment to think, or even to say out loud, the names of the people in our own lives whom we would like to offer a prayer for healing, a Misha Berach prayer. Now we join as one community together with words of healing Misha Berach in the middle of page 253.
Misha Berach Avotenu Mikol HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misheberach imotenu mikol habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
We continue with Aleinu, found at the bottom of page 282. If you are able, please rise. Aleinu leshabech ladon hakol, latet kedula leyotzer breshit, shelo asanu kegoye haratzot, velo samanu kemishbechot ha'adama, shelo samchalkenu kahem, Vegor aleinu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim umishtachavim umodim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. V'ne'emar ve'Adonai L'melech HaKol ha'aretz Bayom hahu Yiyeh Adonai echad Ushemo echad, Ushemo echad. You may be seated.
Some words to help us prepare for the recitation of Kaddish, our prayer for morning. Words can be found on page 289 in the prayer book. The light of life is a finite flame. Like the Shabbat candles, life is kindled, it burns, it glows, it is radiant with warmth and beauty, but soon it fades. Its substance is consumed and it is no more. In light we see, in light we are seen. The flames dance and our lives are full. But as night follows day, the candle of our life burns down and gutters. There is an end to the flames. We see no more and are no more seen. And yet we do not despair. We're more than a memory slowly fading into the darkness. With our lives, we give life. Something of us can never die. We move in the eternal cycle of darkness and death, of light and life. As we prepare to recite the Kaddish prayer this evening, we remember especially Brett R. Gottlieb, brother of Glenn M. Gottlieb, whom death has taken from us in recent days. And we link his name with Samuel Bergman, Sarah Berliner, Reuben Bird, Mildred Breakstone, Rosalind Broad, Sally Rosenfeld-Cohn, Sharon Felder, Mame Friedman, Eva Fremont, Evelyn Goldberg, Harvey Halper, Barbara Buckby Hebron, Louis Hockman, Herb Howard, Nettie Kleinberg, Alfred Koller, Gail Kruskell, Sheldon Levin, Sylvia E. Levin, Isabel Littman, Mimi Lovner, David H. Marcus, Stanley Marlin, Joseph McBride, Rita Mendelson, Daniel Millman, Ruth Pressler, Lawrence J. Raymer, Doris Ratner, Joseph Rosenfeld, Rachel Smith, Dina Sokar. Are there other names we should include? If so, please feel free to speak those names aloud. In addition to all these who have been named aloud, we think of all those who we name in our hearts, who continue to be an inspiration, a guide, a comfort to us, especially during chaotic times. Their memories remain an ongoing blessing in our lives. With gratitude for having journeyed with them and for the opportunity through memory to continue with them at our side, we say, Zecher Tzadik Livracha, the memory of the righteous is an everlasting blessing. Together let us give thanks for the blessing of life, with the words of Mourner's Kaddish, found on page 294. Please rise if you are able. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ve'alma divra chilutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon uvyomechon v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, v'agala uvizman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach le'alam u'lalmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yit'aleh v'yitalal, shemei dekudsha richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiram be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'imru. Amen. May the giver of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved among us. And let us together say, Amen. Gathered here tonight, as we prepare to conclude our service, we can take notice of the large throng of people young and old, young and young at heart, who are here with us to make this Shabbat Shabbat is not something that magically happens because a date shows up on the calendar. We've all probably at different times in our lives had Friday night come and go without it really being marked for Shabbat. And so, yeah, sure, the calendar said it was Shabbat. But it only happens when we actually invest our hearts, souls, time, our care and concern for one another in creating communal Shabbat. That's what you're experiencing here tonight. If you're not looking at the gallery view right now, I really want to encourage you, just for a moment, to click over to gallery view and to see, of all ages, longtime members of our community, brand new members of our community, and so many others from different stations along the way in our LBT family, a family of families. Look at all of these faces, souls, experiences brought together so that we could, like the psalmist long ago, say, Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. How good, how pleasant it is for us to be together, especially at a time of disunity, for us to be together as echad, as one. Let our students show us how it's done as song.
That was amazing, and it just lifted me up, and that is going to carry me through the rest of Shabbat. So Shabbat Shalom, and thank you all for that for your beautiful voices and that energy, and for all of us being together.
Amen to that. I have not smiled so much all week. And as Kathy said, it was hard not to dance as well. I wish to all of our new students that we get to continue to learn from your Torah, and that you are both teachers and also receivers of Torah, and to our community, wishing all of us a peaceful and a hopeful, and maybe even some dancing on this Shabbat.
To all of you, our young people who are here with us on this Shabbat evening, I simply want to say thank you. We hope that we brought you some blessing here tonight, but the reality is you were exactly the blessing that we needed. You represent our trust that the future will be filled with love and possibility, new dreams, dreams that are not going to occur to us. We needed you to arrive and to open your imaginations, to lead us to new places. Tonight, at a time where we most needed it, your faces, your spirit, your goodness, and that blank page onto which you will write so much of your Torah and the Torah that we will teach you. What an inspiration at a time where we've needed it most. I want to say to you, thank you. I want to say to you, Shabbat Shalom u'Menucha. I hope that this Sabbath is for every member of this community, for all of you gathered here to make this Shabbat, that it is a time of peace, it is a time of rest, It is a time of refreshment and renewal. All of us need it. All of us deserve it. And yes, why not Shabbat Shalom and Shabbat Shah? Is that Shababka?
Shababka.
Yeah, sounds delicious to me.
Come to our religious school, Havdalah, and you will find out more, Rabbi Jason.
Sounds delicious. Shabbat Shababka. So may it be a time of peace, a time of rest and renewal, and a time that is delicious. Shabbat, that's good for delicious, absolutely.